Hey guys, Luke here and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 5 of my Liverpool FC Career Mode. Now, I'll just start off by saying if you could drop a like, it'd be very much appreciated. Now, let's get on to the episode. There's going to be 2 Premier League games and a Champions League game, and I think that's how it's going to be for the time being, just through the group stage and stuff. Just, you know, a few Premier League games and then a Champions League game and just rotating a cup game. There's so many different leagues and cups and shit going on, so you've got to get through a lot of that sort of stuff. But taking on Stoke first game. Now, I said Swansea, I thought that was Stoke at first, but I cleared that up, but this time we actually are taking on Stoke, and Begovic is returning to play his old club for the first time, and for us, well, for them, they've got Aspas who's coming up against us for the first time. He's on the bench. It would be interesting to see if he can get a bit of a go off the bench, but yeah, obviously hasn't set the world on fire with them if he's on the bench, but I think Begovic has been pretty solid for us. Our team, we're going with a fairly strong side, if not the strongest side. I didn't quite catch the team lineup, but given Henderson a bit of a run. I was talking last episode about well, he came to us and actually said, like, you need to play us more, and that's what we're doing. But Varane, he comes up with the goods here, 23 minutes in, just a simple header, and that's one of the first goals. We don't really score too many from corners at the moment, or anyway, lately anyways. Varane's not usually the one. It's usually like, for some reason, like the Coutinho's and Firmino's and all those ones who score from the corners. I know it's just probably the tactics I use. But then we go through and just Martinez just turns ever so calmly and just slots it home on his left foot. It was nearly a P-roller, but it wasn't quite. A little bit more power than that. But at the same time, there wasn't much on it. Maybe the keeper could have done a little bit better. But at the same time, I mean, I'm not going to blame him. Play through Henderson just there, gets pretty unlucky. Just got bumped off the ball right at the last second. Got Moreno here. He's going to play through Archibald Henville, and that's an excellent ball here. He's got Firmino on his right hand side. He's going to play it across to him. Firmino did very well not to just take the shot straight away. He sort of held off it a little bit, took it around the keeper, and a simple goal there, 3-0. I'm really finding Archibald, I mean, I've got to say, not the best player, and I'm not sure if he's going to be up to standard, up to scratch anytime soon, but in the few games he's played, he's been fairly solid. And then we see Firmino coming and scoring. Now, I've got to say, for the initial first part of the season, like up until right now, with Firmino, I wasn't really sold on him being a star player for us, but I have to say, lately he's been pretty good for us. Martinez, like, I bought him because he can play, you know, as a bit of a forward, like a all-round forward, a cam, a striker. I'm not sure if he actually does play striker in real life, but this is where I'm playing him anyways. That was the intentions. I wanted a backup striker who could also be a backup cam, and he fit the mold perfectly, in my opinion. And yeah, he's been solid without being spectacular, but count with the goods coming off the bench there. I think he scored 1 or 2 goals, so you know, he's doing what we're asking. Moving on to our Champions League game, going with a 4-1-2-2, Emre Can in the CDM role. You know, we gave it a few people who don't usually play. I think Flanagan's also playing, but Martinez and Sturridge back up front, I believe. Origi on the bench, he's been quite good for us as of late. Have to see if we can get him a few more games, but we see Sterling go through. I think he did one of these runs before, maybe it was Origi actually, but Sterling did a run from the wing, comes in, take a shot, and I think it was Martinez followed up. As you can see, he was offside, which is very unfortunate, because it would have been a nice goal. But you can just see here, I do have to point out, like, we weren't at our best, but it kind of just felt everything that Basel did were just really, really good. They probably should have scored there. We give the ball away here with Sarko very cheaply, and that's what we kept doing, stuffing around at the back, and we're just lucky that we hadn't been punished as of yet. But it's a little bit of a weird one. Basel always seem to challenge some of the big sides in the Champions League, and I know this year, in real life, Liverpool got beat by Basel and that. Oh, did they get beat? Well, anyways, they didn't go through and Basel went through. So yeah, Basel just always competitive, and as you can see, they just hit the lead. Now, it was quite lucky that they had a header that sort of fell to another player, but at the same time, it looked maybe it was intentional. So, you know, we just really had to step up our game dramatically. Otherwise, we're looking at going down to a defeat, and a pretty hefty defeat. But that was a great save. I'm not sure who their keeper is, but that was a phenomenal save. But it's going to fall to Varane again, who just scored his first header at the start of the episode, and he ends up winning a penalty here. The keeper just comes through him, as you can see, literally puts his arm through his dick, and then Sturridge is going to step up and just put the ball back in there ever so calmly. And Sturridge, in real life, I don't think he's a great penalty taker, but we didn't have any Gerrard or nothing, so Sturridge was the next best thing, and he comes in and puts the ball home. And all it was, but it didn't really last for that long, I suppose, because they just went through and just belted home a rocket into the top left. And that was Diaz who scored that. I don't know who he is, but great finish, and that's how it ended 2-1. Quite disappointing. I think it was a home game for us, so you know, it's really annoying to lose those European games in front of your home crowd, especially at Liverpool, because we haven't really been in Champions League that much as of late. So when we get the opportunities, I want to impress, but you know, it goes from bad to worse for us, really. As you see, Varane, he's out for 2 months, so I'm not happy about that. Moving on to the Premier League game, we're taking on Arsenal, so it's another really important game. You can see City, Chelsea, Arsenal, you know, just the usual suspects up and about the top spot. So Arsenal should be a really good contest, to be honest with you, at the Emirates. If we can pick up a point, that should be really good. But at the same time, I'm expecting to beat all these sides. I mean, last year the only team that really challenged us was Chelsea, and I think we've just further improved the squad. So I can't really explain why we've been so poor, but Mascherano just around the middle here, and they just come into the middle with Fellaini, Wilshere on the ball, and he just steps back inside and he's going to slot it home. And a little bit frustrating to concede like that, because I think we were probably the better side at the time. But Raheem Sterling, he's just going to walk around, well, not walk around, but because all I couldn't keep up with him, and he plays it off to Coutinho. He's going to take a shot, and what a fucking shot that was. To tell you honestly, feel like Coutinho is a weird one on this game. I don't think he has particularly great shooting stats or nothing, and up until this year in real life, it wasn't that great of a shot. But what a wonder goal that was. That really, like, I really like those sort of goals, the way they sort of curve outwards. It just looks awesome. But Begovic actually comes up with some pretty good saves lately, like particularly that save right there. It easily could have been a goal. But Arsenal, they're on the attack here. I'm not sure what minute it is, but still in the first half, I believe. And they're just passing it around. And Sanchez is so dangerous. Would have loved Liverpool to have him, but I think Welbeck's going to get ahead to it. And then Moreno comes up with the perfect block there. Probably should have cleared it at himself, but did the next best thing and just got himself in the way, which, you know, I can't complain. They didn't score, so he did his job. He's there to defend, and he did it. But Mertesacker here is going to bring down Sturridge just outside the box. I thought it was in the box, but it is a red card. And a bit unlucky for Mertesacker, but he didn't have the pace. Once the ball was lost, he didn't have the pace to sort of get in front of Sturridge, and he brought him down. And, you know, it's a red card every day of the week, in my opinion. Just unfortunate that didn't end up being a penalty. Coutinho there, he finished the one earlier, which was way harder. At the same time, that was a pretty tough angle, but would have loved if he could have scored that. But it's not going to be the last chance we have. Got Sterling on the ball here. Martinez played it to him. But Sterling's going to cut back inside, as he's been doing quite regularly recently. We're going to play it to Martinez. That was originally supposed to go to Salah, but off the bench, Salah's going to find the back of the net. And what a finish that was. He's come up with a few good goals as of late. I think last episode particularly scored a nice one. I think that was the cut and back one, which I thought was Sterling, but pretty sure it was Salah. But then we just put the pressure on Arsenal, and they were trying to go all out attack, and the ball fell to Firmino. He's just going to sweat it across to Martinez, and there's the goal. There's 3-1. Should be game over, you'd think. So that's his 5th goal of the season, and I just have to say, you'd be wrong if you thought that was game over. Arsenal are not done with yet. You're going to have one chance here. Danny Welbeck. What the fuck was that? Like, I can't believe that went in. Here's a replay. Like, what a goal that was. Just first times in the top left corner. There was literally nothing Begovic could have done. Nothing our defense really could have done. Like, that was just so out there. But a 3-2 win, I'll definitely take that. Pretty happy with how the side's performing as of late. At least we're getting better. But there's one thing I'm not happy about, and that is Sarko is rumoured to be unsettled. I'm just hoping he doesn't come to us with, you know, any further bad news. It's just all speculation at the moment. But I'd like to say, if you have enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to my channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter, @MrLuke on my Twitter handle, and I'll see you for the next Liverpool video. Bye guys.